It's very nice to be here in Paris. I'm going to start off with a song called Soldiers of the Light. Beneath a full blue moon, can what is said be undone? Everything back in tune. Hear my music, message clear. We love what we love. Oh dear, what we hold dear. We love what we love. Oh dear, what we hold dear. I'm sorry, brother, if you think I could betray you, oh, for just one single moment. I'd give you away to an enemy. We played like soldiers of the night. We played like soldiers of the light. Feeling low, a little sad. Where does the time go? I think I missed my mom and dad when I went back to Abbey Road. Hear my music, message clear. We love what we love. Oh dear, what we hold dear. We love what we love. Oh dear, what we hold dear. I'm sorry, brother, if you think I could betray you, oh, for just one single moment. I'd give you away to an enemy. We played like soldiers of the light. We played like soldiers of the light. full blue moon. Can what he said be undone? Everything back in tune. Hear my music, message clear. We love what we love. Oh dear, what we hold dear. We love what we love. Oh dear, what we hold dear. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. This is a song about, actually, the first time I came to Paris. It was during the Sorbonne riots, 68 or 69. And Mick Jagger was in his hotel. And the students were down in the street. And they called up to the window, "Mick, come down and join the demonstration." But he's a conservative. He is. He's what we call a Tory. Anyway, yeah, that was my first time in Paris, and it was a fascinating experience. I've never been in a country where everybody was on strike. It was really exciting, really exciting. This is a song about another riot. This one was in Brixton in London. The first blue line all fell down. The second wave came up like Vikings. London burning in the twilight. Reason died on the street that night. They beat a woman for being gay. Everyone watched them take her away. There was no holding back now. No matter how hard we try. No matter how hard we try. Some say the way is filled with tomorrows. On the red star of sorrows, I say come the morning, mothers will be looking for their missing ones. All above and below the people's cry. There was a stink of petrol hanging in the air. Broken glass shines like diamonds. Eric pulled a girl from a burning wreck. An old man asked, where's respect? Susie took a knife from the hand of a boy, standing on a corner with tears in his eyes. There was no holding back now. No matter how hard we try. No matter how hard we try. Some say the way is filled with tomorrows. On this dark red come the morning, mothers will be looking for their missing ones. All above and below the people's cry. All above and below the people's cry. The first blue line all fell down. The second wave came up like Vikings. London burning in the twilight. Reason died on the street that night. They beat a woman for being gay. Everyone watched them take her away. There was no holding back now. No matter how hard we tried. No matter how hard we tried. Some say the way is filled with tomorrows. On this dark red star of sorrow. And I say, come the morning, mothers will be looking for their missing ones. All above and below the people's cry. Some say the way is filled with tomorrow. On this dark red star of sorrow, I say come the morning, mothers will be looking for their missing ones. All above and below the people's cry. You cry, we cry together. Thank you. Okay. A lot of people my age, especially music fans, have this idea that the 70s or the 60s or whenever they had their golden days were the best for music. You know, that after the 70s, music stopped, and it's not true. There's some fantastic new music around, and there always is fantastic new music around. But I used to get invited to people's houses, and they'd say, shall I put a record on? A record? Oh, and then I remembered those big plastic things, you know. And now, of course, they're very popular again. And it was always Jefferson Starship, The Doors, you know, that kind of thing. Great, fantastic music. But what about now? I always just say, haven't you got anything modern? Haven't you got anything new, you know? What do you mean new? It all ended in 1970-something, didn't it? No, of course it didn't. It didn't. Some great music now. Anyway, I wrote a song for all those people who think that all the best music has been played. And it's called The Good Old Days. The good old days are only in your mind, and of a time soon gone, like cherry blossom, and the leaves turn brown in the pale shine. It's far out there, watching the white line go by, just like time flies for everybody else. And the racing cyclist, still you are here, we love and breathe. Still we are here, we love and breathe. the young now have. What will become their golden years soon gone, like everyone. Still, we are here, we love and breathe. Still, we are here, we love and breathe. Still, we are here, we love and breathe. Would you sell your soul for a moment more, for a cup of gold, when love turns cold? The good old days are only in your mind, and of a time soon gone, like cherry blossom, and the leaves turn brown in the pale shine. It's far out there, watching the white line go by, just like time flies for everybody else. And the racing cyclist, still we are here, we love and breathe. Still we are here, we love and breathe. Still, we are here, we love and breathe. Da, 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 da. I don't know if you get the same kind of advertising on television here that we do in the UK. I don't watch afternoon television. Well, I try to be busy, but occasionally it's on. And all day long, adverts, charity adverts, little children who need water, people who've got nowhere to live, people fleeing a war. It's endless. And I started to write down what it would cost if I sent £2 or £3, €2 or €3 to each of the advertisers asking for money for charity. And it was hundreds and hundreds of pounds a month. It's so sad. And there was one image, one picture, that I kept seeing over and over and over again. It was a little black girl with flies buzzing around her face, and she's constantly whole life is about this, and looking for food, and hoping that the well is not polluted and filthy. So I wrote a song about her as well, and it's called On the News. Sun is shining and the sky is blue, can't reach you. Phones are buzzing, everybody's talking loud, can't feel you. You waiting home, you waiting home. Sun is shining and the sky is blue, can't see you. Phones are buzzing, everybody's talking loud, can't reach you. Your big brown eyes behind the wire, your people under fire, we're on the news. We're on the news. Hallelujah. You look so fine, like flowers in Hawaii each time you smile. Inside a little bit more, I die. Na-da, 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 na-da. Dust is rising and the land is dead, can't feel you. You're waiting hopeful for the one who brings the bread, who's gonna feed you. You big brown eyes behind the wire, your people under fire, you're on the news. You're on the news. Hallelujah. You look so fine, like flowers in Hawaii each time you smile. Inside a little bit more, I need no, no. Na 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 War, nobody wins, but we all lose out, but we don't know it. We watch the pictures, sometimes turn up the sound, but we don't own it. Your big brown eyes behind the wire, your people under fire. You're on the news. You're on the news. Hallelujah. You look so fine, like flowers in Hawaii each time you You smile inside a little bit more hide-eye. Na-na, 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 na-na. Hallelujah. You look so fine, like flowers in Hawaii each time you smile. Inside a little bit more hide-eye. Hallelujah. You look so fine, like flowers in Hawaii each time you smile. Inside a little bit more hide-eye. Thanks. A little story now. I tell stories as well. I speak slowly because I do appreciate that you are trying to understand my English and my French is. So, it's a rainy day in London, and myself and my band, we are flying to Germany to play in Würzburg at a festival. We'd played it 2 or 3 times before, but the weather was really bad. I suppose it was the beginning of the signs of global warming. So Heathrow, the airport, was completely closed down. So we got there and we were told to go back to London and to come again in the morning. So given that this was something like 6:30 a.m., and I've spent all my life in a rock and roll band, it was awful. No one should be awake at 6:30. It should be illegal, against the law. But I was, and I got back in the bus, and off we went back to London, and got up at 5:30 a.m. again the next day to go to Heathrow. But the planes were running, they were flying on that day, so going up the steps onto the aeroplane, I decided that I needed a window seat so I could just flop there. And there was a chap behind me, a guy behind me, and I could feel him pushing, and it was like a couple of horses, ready to go. And just when actually this lady stood up to put her luggage in something in the locker at the top. And as she stood up, he pushed past me because I very gentlemanly let her, do her thing and stood there and let her put her bag up. And he pushed past and got the window seat. So I stood there and I thought, how can I really upset this guy? What can I do to make him wish he'd not done that? And then I thought, oh, come on, don't be so miserable and mean. That's not who you are. It's not. That's not who I am, honestly. So I sat down next to him. And he smiled at me, and I kind of ignored him, and he smiled again, and I ignored him again. And then he looked at me and he said, so what do you do? And I felt like saying, I'm a heart surgeon. Especially the way I looked, and early in the morning. I'm a heart surgeon. I'm just going to borrow somebody's heart. Anyway, I said I'm in a rock and roll band and I'm going to Germany and I'm going to play a festival. And I said it just like that, I don't care what you think. I don't want to talk to you. And he said, oh, that's interesting. And he sort of sat looking at me, expecting me to say, and what do you do? I knew it. And I wanted to in that moment for some reason, and there was a bit of me that didn't want anything to do with him at all. But, you know, being a reasonable sort of human, I said, so what do you do? And he said, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. And I thought, all the times that I've stood up in my upstairs flat shouting at Jehovah's Witnesses, go away. And I could have been worse, but that's all I ever did, go away. So I thought, okay, here we are on a plane, going to Germany. So I said, so, all right, I thought I'll make it difficult for him now. So I said, all right, so you're a Jehovah's Witness, but what do you do? And he said, well, he said, I've just been to Stonehenge. Last week, he said, I was at the Great Pyramids. Last month, he said, I was at the Great Runways in South America. And I'm thinking, why don't you take the guitar and go and play the festival, and I'll tour all those fabulous places all over the world? Why are you going there? I said. And he said, you've heard about the second coming. I said, yes, I've heard about it. He said, well, it's due. I said, I've heard that too. There's a man, when I first went to London in 1968, used to walk up and down Oxford Street with a big board. And it said, the end of the world is near. And now his grandson has got the board. So yes, I'd heard of it. And we were talking about the end timers in America. You know, those people who believe that when it all happens and the Lamb comes to take his flock, there'll be some of us that will go with him, and there will be others of us that will be left behind. You look like the left behind lot. Anyway, I know I am. So, fascinating stuff, and this guy is paid to tour the world, recording. He takes video and interviews people, looking for signs so he can go back and say, yeah, I reckon our boss is coming down next week. You know? That's what his job was. And I thought, that's a fantastic job. That is a fantastic job. Lots of people have said to me, God, I wish I'd got your job, going around the world playing music and that. But that's one of the few times where I thought, shall I become a Jehovah's Witness? But the temptation was too small. So, yeah, that was it. And we got to Frankfurt Airport, and the wing nearly touched the ground as we came in. It was very wet and rainy. And I thought, well, I'm all right because I'm sitting next to this guy. So if the plane crumples, it will be okay. And just as the plane was coming to a halt, stopping, he reached down for his briefcase, his little case, and he pulled out one of the magazine's Watchtower. He said, would you like a Watchtower? No, thank you, I said. Anyway, I wrote the bastard a song, because that's what I do. I was talking to an old man, spoke about a war, prophecy, democracy, the second coming of the Lord. He said everything is changing, you must have seen the signs. He said he'd seen angels landing in the middle of the night. Mama, there's a hole in it. Baby, there's a hole in it. Daddy, there's a hole in it. And I don't know what to do. I watched the old man fading. He said, I gotta be seen. He wanted to save me. wanted to make me clean. I said, I'm not going there, I'm staying down below. He looked at me and he said, there's too much wrong. Mama, there's a hole in it. Baby, there's a hole in it. Daddy, there's a hole in it, and I don't know what to do. About a war, prophecy, democracy, the second coming of the Lord. He said everything is changing. You must have seen the signs. He said he'd seen angels landing in the middle of the night. Mama, there's a hole in it. Ooh, baby, there's a hole in it. Ooh, Daddy, there's a hole in it. And I don't know what to do. Thank you. Another little story. This one's a bit strange. I have a friend in eastern part of England, in East Anglia, Norfolk. And Norfolk's full of water and fish. And fishing is my passion. I fish with bits of plastic, called lures. And I don't fish any other way. I just like the idea of making a fish think that a piece of plastic is another fish. And pike, big pike, is what I like to catch. And we both go fishing together. And I went up to see him one time and I said, do you fancy going fishing? And he said, yeah, let's go fishing. And he said, what's wrong? He said, when you said that, you don't seem like you want to go fishing. But I said, no, I do. But I'm a working class boy, and I haven't done any working class things recently. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I haven't written a song. I haven't done anything. I haven't dug the garden, because I haven't got a garden. So you can't dig a garden you haven't got. And so anyway, I did feel bad about it. It's just something, I feel, unless I've done something, I don't deserve something, nice. So he said, well, look, I'm going upstairs to organise some fishing rods and boxes of stuff and like that. So I always keep a guitar wherever I stay with people, in case the muse comes. And I picked up this nylon-strung classical guitar, and I started playing something. And these words filled my mouth. And I'm singing them, singing these words. And it was quite extraordinary, really, because I didn't know what the words were going to be. They just came out. And he came running down the stairs and he said, is that you? I said, is that me? Of course it's me. He said, did you write that? I said, yes. He said, when? I said, just now, this minute. He said, sing it. So I sang a little bit of it. And he said, it doesn't sound like you. I said, I know. It doesn't sound like me at all, does it? Very strange, spooky. So he said, you know that little recorder, that digital recorder that you keep in your bag? He said, why don't you get it out and record the song? Sensible chap, my friend. And I said, no, I'm a professional. I don't need to do that. It's up here, you know. It's locked in there, mate. So he said, all right, let's go fishing. So we did, and we caught a couple of nice fish, and we came home, and he was in the kitchen putting the kettle on to make some tea, and he said, oh, by the way, sing the song. I'd forgotten it. Completely forgotten it. Not just a little bit. I didn't remember what I'd played or any part of it at all. So he said, I told you, I said, don't talk about the recorder. Please don't talk. Right. So that was that. And I go home, and I've got another nylon-strung classical guitar, which I picked up quickly to try to surprise my brain. I'm ready, nothing. And I did this for about 6-7 weeks. Every now and then, I knew G was the chord, so every now and then I'd pick up the guitar and I'd go. It just didn't come, just didn't happen. So I gave up. So I go back to my friend Mixed for some more fishing, and he said, by the way, have you, I said, don't mention it. Picked up the guitar at some point in the weekend, and it was back. I remembered it. Now, I'm going to sing it for you for 2 reasons. One is so I don't forget it, because obviously the more I sing it to people, the more I remember it, it's likely. And the other thing is because, I know it's a big ask, but if you listen to the words, I think you'll see what I mean when I say, I think this is somebody else's song. I didn't write this. And I think they can't. And they want me to do it for them. It's called My Salvation. Love is a thing, heartfelt, angels singing. Oh, I'd put a ring on anybody's finger. Ooh, take me dancing. Let's take a chance on you being my hope, my salvation. I can walk or talk or do anything much. I know I've no illusions, so take me dancing. Let's take a chance on you being my home, my salvation. I don't wanna be excluded. I just wanna be included. Oh, I know you can't be me, but I hope you can see me. Love is the thing, heartfelt, angels singing. Oh, I put a ring on anybody's finger. Ooh, take me dancing. Let's take a chance on you being my home, my salvation. Now, I do write the odd love song, believe it or not, and this is one. It's called 6 White Horses. Let the water run through me. take a breath, I can breathe. I adore you since I saw you in the darkness, just like me. Beside ourselves, beside the sea, 6 white horses carry away. If I can hold my head up with you, someone might say I am a loser. Have faith, hope was my friend. Let me tell you how I'm feeling. Can't believe this is real. Put your head upon my shoulder like we're 17. Sing forever in a love shine. Everybody have love for love. Enjoy us that not in love. If I can hold my head up with you, someone might say I am a loser. I used to have faith. My friend, if I can hold my head up with you, someone might say I am a loser. I used to have faith. Hope was my friend. Every choir in every tone will sing the love songs forever sung. Every baby that never cried will sing forever in our love light. 6 white horses taking flight. If I can hold my head up with you, someone might say I am a loser. I used to have faith, hope was my friend. If I can hold my head up I wanna run away with thee, go as far as we can see, a vision of what still might be. I wanna feel the breeze, I wanna spend my life with you, do the things we all should do, do it all before the well runs dry. It's why I wanna touch the sky, and it feels like I am almost dancing, and it feels like I am almost dancing. I wanna change my life about, without a fight or shouting out. And even when I'm filled with doubt, it's you I'm coming to. And it feels like I am almost dancing, and it feels like I am almost dancing. I wanna tell you everything, what I can say I'll sing. Oh, I dream of you, it's not enough, it's why I wanna drink you up. And it feels like I am almost dancing, and it feels like I am almost dancing. I wanna run away with thee, go as far as we can see. Oh, a vision of what still might be. Oh, I wanna feel the breeze, and I wanna spend my time with you. We'll do the things we all should do, do it all before the well runs dry. It's why I wanna touch the sky. Okay, another story. Got a couple more songs to do. Years and years and years ago, back in the 60s, 70s, when I was living in the Midlands, near Coventry and Birmingham, in a little place called Warwick, I just had one ambition: to get to London with a band and do all that stuff. And there was this band with a guy in it called Michael Farron, called the Social Deviants. And I thought, what a fantastic name for a band, the Social Deviants. Until I saw them. And they were shit. Anyway, Michael was a bit of a journalist, and he wrote science fiction books, and he was quite a good writer, actually. And he was a character. I quite liked him. But whenever they played with us, they would never go on after us. And Mick always said, it's because they've got this tune called Out Demons Out. And it was a kind of exorcism. And it didn't matter who we played with, nobody would play after us, not even the Birds or the Doors. Because when we'd done this exorcism, the audience just lay on the floor, they were just finished. So there was no point anybody playing after us, and that's the truth. So Mick said, I'm not playing after them, ever. So the years went by, and he never quite did anything much at all. And he always hated me for having this tune, which I borrowed from an American band called the Fugs, which nobody's ever heard of. Anyway, the years went by, and we did some gigs together. And then one day, EMI brought out a box set. They do it all the time. Box set, 4 albums in a box. You know, a couple of extra tracks, repackage it, sell the same thing over and over again. And Mick, as a writer, as a journalist, reviewed it. Bastard wrote inane, hippie nonsense. That's all he wrote for a 4 CD box album. And I thought, okay, I'll get you. I'll find a way. I will. I'm Scorpio. So time went by, and somebody said, you know what? Saw Mick Farron with his band, because they kicked him out of the Social Deviants, and then he joined the Pink Fairies, which kicked him out again, and it's just endless. He couldn't sing, and you know. Anyway, but he could write nasty nonsense. So somebody said they'd seen him, and he was ill, and he was huge. I mean, I'm a big guy now, a bit fat, but they said this. I said, well, how big is he? They said, oh, he's bigger than you. He's about twice as big as you. I said, no, because this guy was like pencil black jeans, winkle picker black boots, and he looked like a comb, you know, a rod, a stick. He was thin. I said, well, how big is he? This guy said, he's massive, absolutely massive. So I said, oh, all right, I'll sort him out. And he looks ill, does he? Yeah. Suddenly, out of the blue, there's a gig in the middle of the West End in London at the Boardwalk, and I'm playing with him. Gotcha. So I get down the boardwalk early, and I don't know if anybody here has seen the film Blade Runner or read the book, but it was a Blade Runner night. Filthy. And trust me, a Blade Runner night in the West End of Soho in London stinks. It just does. And I love it because it's just evocative and powerful. So I walk in the gig and walk in the dressing room, and Mick's there. Oh, no, how you doing? And he was huge. He was twice my size. And he introduced me to somebody, and he said, oh, it's Edgar Broughton, he's really good. Where's your voice gone, Mick? You're going to sing, you know. Anyway, he stood up to go to the toilet, and I saw a bottle of oxygen. He'd brought a bottle of oxygen to a gig so he could breathe. And I thought, my people would never let me go out of the house if I needed a bottle of oxygen to go to a gig. I'd be banned from playing, I know that. So I thought, well, see, I wanted to go up to him and saying, look, Mick, I can see you're really ill. Have some of my brandy and keep going on about how ill he was, until he felt worse. That was my original plan. But when I saw the poor old bastard, I thought, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's not fair. Anyway, it was time for them to go on. Before me, even though I'm on my own, the band wouldn't go on after me. So off he went, and I heard the band start up. They've stopped. Oh. So I went out to have a look, and they were just sort of sound checking a little bit. And then they started to go through a song, and it was so bad, I started laughing. And I thought, I better get back in the dressing room, because I can't stand out here laughing at another band. It looks terrible. It's not a good look at all. So I went back in the dressing room, and eventually they started. And funny enough, it banged, 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 and it stopped again. So I went out and had a look, and he's lying on the floor behind his microphone stand. And bless him, he'd got a corset. It's a thing that you wear around your belly to keep your belly flat. And my mum used to wear one in the sort of 50s. And his T-shirt was up at the back, and I could see this strapping thing to keep his belly in. So I pulled his shirt down for him at least. And he was dead. And that was the end of him. So I wrote a fucking song for him as well. And this is called The Sound Don't Come. You thought that you had angels' wings, that you could dance and fly and sing. But I see you lying there like some broken drum. They beat you, but the sound don't come. They beat you, but the sound don't come. Nah, no, nah, no, nah, no, nah, no, nah, no. We wished we could have walked you down some road. We would all have liked to seen you when you rose. But I see you lying there like some broken drum. Oh, they beat you, but the sound don't come. They beat you, but the sound don't come. Nah, no, nah, no, nah, no, nah, no, nah, no. On any day you never would have known. In any way you never could have seen. When it's really time to go, I guess you know, the mirror tells you where you'll be. A bugle boy is waiting in the mist to play a sweet lament like being kissed. And I see you lying there like some broken drum. They beat you, but the sound don't come. They beat you, but the sound don't come. Nah, no, nah, no, nah, no, nah, no, nah, no. You thought that you had angels' wings, that you could dance and fly and sing. But I see you lying there like some broken drum. They beat you, but the sound don't come. They beat you, but the sound don't come. On any day you never would have known. Anyway, you never could have seen. When it's really time to go, I guess you know, the mirror tells you where you've been. Na 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 no na no na 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 no no na no na no na no na no na no. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have one more song left for you. It's an old one. It's the only really old one that I've sung for you tonight. It's called Evening Over Rooftops. The air was thick like honey, looking from the room had open windows to let the springtime through. The evening stood by watching at the side of summer's promise. Oh, the evening in a garden were the envy of your friends. How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? The smoke hung on the skyline, the city fell in silence. Oh, the sunset ripe and mellow was the light to write some thoughts by. The children watched for father in their window in a wall. said a prayer for Grandpapa and maybe many more. Somewhere in the distance, on the roof so far away, I heard the sound of life, though the people left for home. 3 birds flew off a building, standing proud against the sky. Many more flew with them, spiraled upwards like laughter. Faster, harder, they rose up in a column. Oh, there were hundreds upon hundreds, and twice that many wings big. 4 miles across, stretched 1,000,000 miles high, the living, pulsing column in the Lady of the Sky. Feathers thrashed together, locked in that huge one. Ooh, I knew no one could see it, and now that it was gone, I rubbed my eyes, tried to find a reason for the flight. Ooh, was it exodus, escape, or just for me to see, like the mating of the earth and air, like water is to flowers? How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? How far are we from dying? Is it nearly at an end? Thank you. Good night. Thank you.